Rant summer is here. Head on over to AJsRANTroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to AJsRANTroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed. It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. Womp, 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 womp. That's how I feel. That's my feeling today. It's just womp, 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 womp. Because I'm talking about something that I don't want to talk about. I'm going to have a show today. That's how bored I am. That's how bored I am with the top, with this Epstein stuff. That's how bored I am. That's how over it I am. Because I've been saying for 3 weeks I don't care. And people are annoying me. So whatever. But before we get into that, welcome to the the Lunchtime Rant. I hope everybody's having a great day. Oh yeah. So a little preamble before we get to the subject I don't want to talk about. So a funny one. Astronomer CEO was caught on camera with his HR chief during a Coldplay concert in Boston. The pair were seen rushing to their cover, their faces in horror, when they realized they were on the big screen. Take a look.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
What the hell were they thinking? Yeah. I know there's thousands of people here. There's cameras everywhere. I'm CEO of one of the biggest tech firms. Yeah. This is the perfect place to have PDA with one of my subordinates. This is the perfect place to do it. What the hell? Homeboy is married.
He has 2 children. Now look, in that tax bracket, people relationships look very different, right? So I'm just speaking from my but what's the point of dodging at that point? You got caught. You can't undo it. You was that was not just I'm hanging out with what is her title? I am not the HR chief. This is more than I'm hanging out with my HR chief. Mhm. Yeah. And I hold on, I have to see that.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
We know this is the part of the show where the camera is scanning the audience. All right, it's scanning the audience looking for couples. Why would you choose that moment to have affection? Oh, you twits. Well, the jig is up. I mean, he hasn't released a statement or said anything, of course. He's trying to find the best way to justify that. My bad. This is what happens when you don't have a producer. I said a whole lot. Anyway, I just said a whole lot that nobody heard because I put myself backstage where nobody could hear me. Anyway, that was totally dumb. You don't do that, and that they did this to themselves. I don't feel bad for them because this is the moment in the show where they're looking for couples. Why would you boo up at that moment? You wait till it's dark. All the focus is on the band. Nobody's looking. Okay, yeah, let's sneak in it right now. All right, get off me. Get off me. I don't get people. I don't get the cheating. I don't get cheating. I don't get it. I don't get cheating. Be in the relationship or don't be in the relationship. I don't have time for all the extra stuff. If you're not being fulfilled in a ways, bring it up to your partner. If they don't want to do it, then be like, look, I tried. It ain't working. I gotta go do something else. But just be straight up with people. I don't the sneaking around and all of that. I've never done it, but it looks exhausting. It looks very very exhausting, and quite frankly, I obviously don't condone it. Um, and I don't know the nature of his relationship with his wife or whatever, but clearly, wife wouldn't be okay if you bobbing and weaving when the camera rolls up on you. That just made it worse, though. That made it worse than it could have ever been because I would have just, hey, we got caught. Fuck it, just stay here. But I'm me, and they're them, and so that's probably why. I don't know why people like relationships where people are lying. I don't get it. You would rather someone lie to you than tell you the truth. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird that way. Hold on. Why are all these tabs still open? All right, moving on. I didn't know this. Where have I been for the last 5 years? I did not know that rapper producer Akon was trying to build a Wakanda, a real Wakanda. If you don't know what Wakanda is, it's from Black Panther. It's the fictional African futuristic city in Black Panther. And Akon was trying to create that reality. And at some point, I will find the article so I can read it. There's the article. All right. Look at me. Gold star for AJ. Hey, what's the word? Bird, bird, bird. Bird's the word. All right. And apparently, I where was I 5 years? Maybe this was, maybe, maybe I did hear about it and I just forgot about it. I don't know. Anyway, hold on. I gotta do another thing. Booyah. All right. There we go. Look at me being responsible. All these damn ads get on my nerves. Uh, block. I don't want to see your alerts. Uh, and I gotta remove that. All right, Boo Bit, what you got? Wakanda, not forever. Plans for futuristic African city fall apart. Plans for a 6 billion futuristic city in Senegal, envisioned by US born singer Akon and inspired by the fictional Wakanda of Marvel's Black Panther, has been formally abandoned by the Senegalese authorities following years of setbacks and failed construction milestones. I'm not going to try to attempt to say this person's name, but they are the head of Senegalese tourism authority. Sopco stated, quote, the Akon City project no longer exists, confirming that the ambitious urban development will be replaced by a more modest initiative in partnership with Akon. So, in other words, broke shit. The cancellation of Akon City marks the collapse of one of the most high profile Pan African development fantasies in a generation and highlights the risks associated with celebrity driven mega projects and unproven financial models such as cryptocurrency. Akon, who spent part of his childhood in Senegal, has promoted the city as Africa's answer to Wakanda and a launchpad for Akon's cryptocurrency. Akon plans for the city in 2018, announced plans for the city in 2018. Wow, it was 2018? I thought it was 2020. Building it as a high-tech, eco-friendly metropolis to be powered by solar energy and Acoin, his newly created crypto. So to date, they've built one building. One. You want to see it? Wait. That one little lonely building at the bottom. It's a nice idea. Yes, his crypto name was Acoin. That they should have known right there that there was going to be a problem. But what in the fire festival is going on here? So what happened to okay, well, I guess all the setbacks, the permits, the everything, because this is very ambitious and this is not something you can just throw together. Like you really have to be meticulous and you have to build it out in phases. You know, you can't just throw up a city. Like that's not how that works. And so it was ambitious and I just wish they had planned it better and I wish they had sort of been more low key about it. Because then maybe we could say, okay, it's gonna take 20 to 30 years to build this out. But instead, y'all wanted to build it out in 5 minutes, and then you ran into all of the red tape that you generally run into when you get into a construction project. Anyway, um, prolonging the inevitable, let's let's talk about this dumb shit. Um Epstein. So bored. All right, so this is probably the least prepared I've ever been for a live stream. I really don't care. But cuz I'm a big picture person, if that makes sense. So when you're a big picture person, there are pieces may or may not work out, but they're not like mitigating factors to be outraged and acting like a baboon's ass over, right? Now, for me, I guess for me, my sticking point was Israel and getting involved in a proxy war that we had no business getting involved in. So that was my gripe, right? So I guess for more people, it's this Epstein list, right? Look, I understand. I get it. I get it. Um, and I'm gonna try to be as nice as I can. And that's asking for a lot. Um, and long before Trump said let it go, I was saying I don't care. So let that be on the record. On the record. And long before Donald Trump was like, "Oh, just let it go." I was like, "Shut up. Why are we even we're still talking about this?" Like look, what if there is no list? What if there is no formal black book list, formal thing document? What if there isn't one? What are we going to do? Make one up? Do I agree with Trump fanning the flames and saying this? No, the radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia, and even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam will forever be called the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have brought into this quote bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and they probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I have had more success in the last 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success starved Dems is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Some of y'all may not agree, but I agree with Trump. Again, I'm a big picture person. Big picture. Right? I'm a big picture person. I didn't vote for Donald Trump for the Jeffrey Epstein list. That's not why I voted for Donald Trump. I don't even think that was a top. It wasn't a top 10 issue. It might have been 1920. I don't know. But it wasn't a top 10 issue for me. Now, for some people, it was. That's fine. And that's good for you. I love that for you. But it wasn't for me. So when I am in a position where I have to talk ad nauseum about something I don't want to talk about, I just get more irritated. And being on this low sugar situation that I'm on right now isn't helping the situation anymore. Because now we're giving Democrats fuel. Democrats don't care about the Epstein list. Democrats don't care about victims. Democrats don't give a damn about anybody but Democrats and their power. That's all they care about. And so when you decide to be divisive over a list with all the success that this administration is having, we're going to take this one subject and blow it up to the point of nauseum and destroy and burn down everything that was, or at least attempt to burn down everything that's been built in the last 6 months. And that's going to be built going forward because you didn't get a list. I'm going to say this one more time. The people, if there is a list, say there is a list, the people on that list are so rich. I mean, no. There's rich and then there's wealthy. So wealthy, inherently wealthy, that you're never going to get that if there is a list, it's never going to be unsealed. I do not believe Donald Trump's on that list. Because if Donald Trump's on that list and you bimbos did 91 indictments, you did the Mueller probe, you did the Russia hoax, 2 impeachments, civil lawsuits to bankrupt him and destroy his businesses, you pulled his family into it, and you mean to tell me y'all had the smoking gun the whole time? So that's why I don't believe he's on the list. If he was on that list, trust me, Democrats would have pounced on that opportunity. The list that may or may not exist, I don't know. But again, bigger picture. We have 3.5 years. Actually, if you really think about it, you have 2 years and a little bit, because then you're starting your re-election cycle, right? Or the next Republican comes in for the next cycle. And so then he becomes sort of a lame duck. But I don't really think Trump's going to be much of a lame duck for those last 6 months of his presidency in 2027. I'm 2028. But that's my I mean, am I making sense? I mean, do I sound crazy? I mean, even if you don't agree with me, whatever, I'm gonna still say it like I mean it. Does that make sense when you're a bigger picture person? Like, I'm not for me, even with the Israel thing, I wasn't gonna be like, well, Trump is a failure, and because all the stupid stuff that I'm seeing. Oh, Trump, he's changed his tune. Have you ever embarked on something that you thought was going to turn out one way or look one way, and then it completely changed course? Or it was sort of like what you thought it was, but it wasn't quite? Okay, I think that's what's going on here. Right? And so giving these bottom feeders political points, because that's all this is for them, political points. If they cared about victims, they would have released the list when Biden was president. If they cared about victims, they would have sought justice for the victims when Biden was president, right? If that's what their true goal, and they genuinely cared about victims, that would have been their goal when Biden was president, but it wasn't. There was an Epstein, nothing. Nobody had an Epstein, a Democrat, nothing. You couldn't get a Democrat to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. Now all of a sudden we want the list released. Now all of a sudden we want to have votes to amend what is it called? What the hell is that act called? Uh the- 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 hold. Huh? Oh, hold on. It's gonna irritate me until I get the name. Uh oh, the Genius Act. There we go. So yes. And so the reason why Republicans, I mean, and Republicans in Congress hold the line. Just hold the line, because these people are not doing this. It's not a genuine argument. It's not a genuine conversation. It's not. And y'all know it's not, and I know it's not. And I wish, but here's the thing. Like every movement, like every group of people, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, there's weak people and there's strong people, right? Right. The weak people are the ones falling apart over an Epstein list. The weak people are the ones following Charlie Kirk and eating up every Epstein word that he can get out and discarding everything that is actually working, which is the majority of the stuff, right? So when the majority of the stuff is working and you don't get one or two things, okay, great. But if Jeffrey Epstein was your linchpin, then it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm bored. I'm sick of the conversation. So Democrats, this is not the flex you think it is, because when y'all had the House, the Senate, and the executive, y'all didn't go after the Epstein list. You didn't give a damn about an Epstein list. You didn't give a damn about all those children that got trafficked under Joe Biden's watch. Y'all don't care about it. Y'all still don't care about it now. But it's politically expedient. So congressional Republicans, hold the line, because this whole act, 'cause that's all it is. It's a big act, because the Republicans have, I mean, the Democrats literally have barely a leg to stand on. And so I'm gonna play Epstein 2028. Shut up. Here's Professor Mike talking about the Genius Act.
Democrats are child predators. Let me explain. The Epstein files. Everybody's mad about them. Everybody's mad at Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, the Republicans in Congress, specifically the Republicans who voted no on Ro Khanna's amendment to the Genius Act. But let's talk about it and why I don't like that amendment. Pause to read if you need. We're going to go right here. Attorney General shall release and publish any records or evidence related to any investigation, prosecution, or incarceration of Jeffrey Epstein on a publicly accessible website.
Boom. So, say Pam Bondi is correct, and I'm no Pam Bondi, like, uh, whatever. She's correct. And what was put on her desk was basically a lot of child porn and inappropriate images and things that we don't need to see, right? Let's say that's the case. So basically, this amendment says that all of that has to be exposed to the public, along with victims' names and other pertinent and personal information. I don't agree with that. Nobody should agree with that. Democrats only want to do this because they think it's going to win them political favor, and it's not. Because here's the thing, like, for these people, I don't support Trump no more. I don't, over an Epstein list. What are you gonna do? What's your alternative? Kamala Harris 2028, Gavin Newsom 2028. Well, go ahead, go, run your weak ass over there. This is kind of like 2020 all over again. Like when Trump allegedly lost the 2020 election, I said this is going to expose the fake people who was in this for money, social media clout, attention, and then the real ones will toe the line and do the work. All right. Continue, Mike.
This amendment mandates that all evidence between Jeffrey Epstein's investigation be uploaded onto a publicly accessible website. That includes pornographic imagery of children and pornographic video recording of children. There is no provision in that amendment to protect the children.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's just expose these kids who have already been traumatized. Right, because that's responsible.
We have to protect those children. It was a good thing that this got shot down. There was nothing protecting those victims. You want to release the Epstein files? By all means. But the victim's safety comes first. Protecting the victims comes first. I don't give a shit about those Epstein files. Victims need to be protected.
He could have just said, I don't give a shit about those Epstein files, because I don't. What are you going to do? Bring the king, the king's nephew of Saudi Arabia over here? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's never going to happen. Like, anyway. The fantasy is great, but to think that like singers and dancers are on the list, like they might be, but they're not the issue here. They can't buy their way out of this. They can't lolly-da, do they Donna Summer thing, as Ike Turner said to Tina. Here's Trump on it.
Semiconductors and chips.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Mr. President, a question on AI.
Let them eat cake. Wasn't the most solid answer. But it's basically what I've been saying. Now, here's one of the leaders of the brain dead faction of MAGA. You know, because everything that these people say, you know, everything Matt Walsh says, everything Charlie Kirk says is the Holy Grail. They're brilliant. They're brilliant. Go ahead, Matt.
Many of us were not saying anything different from what we've been saying for years about Epstein. Okay, and also what Trump has been saying for years about it.
Great. But what Trump said and what Trump knows now may be two different things. Did y'all ever factor that in?
Now Trump has decided all of a sudden that the issue doesn't matter, it's boring, and anyone who talks about it is a weakling and not one of his supporters.
Yeah, there's bigger fish to fry. That's the bigger point. That's the bigger point here. But y'all are missing it because y'all are in y'all feelings and making this one issue a headline when it doesn't need to be one. And you're literally giving Democrats what they want.
He decided that in the last 2 weeks. He never said that before.
He said he never said that before? I must have missed that one.
So the idea that we as conservatives are obligated to just adopt that perspective.
No, you're not obligated to do anything. No, absolutely not. I disagree with Trump vehemently on the whole Israel, helping Israel with Iran, and the ever evolving definition of anti-Semitism. I vehemently do disagreed with that. I disagreed with Trump, allowing Israel to attempt to circumvent the First Amendment and allow the federal government to withhold funds from universities because students question anything about the history of Jewish people. Now, it's one thing when you're obstructing people from getting to class, you're harassing them and putting your hands on them. That's already a crime. That's already a crime in itself. So it doesn't need to be this special crime. It's already a crime. But going on.
Out of the blue is madness. It's also not possible, by the way. Even if I wanted to just decide that I don't care about this anymore, it doesn't work that way.
Nobody said you don't have to care about it anymore. No, nobody said you didn't have to care about it anymore. Like I said twice already, when you are looking through things and when you're looking at the bigger picture, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what Trump's saying. I'm saying for myself. That's what I'm saying.
I can't just, you can't say to me, well, you shouldn't care about this. Okay, well, then I don't. Well, never mind. Even if I wanted to obey that directive, I just can't. I care about the issue. I've cared about it for the last 5-6 years. I've cared about it the whole time. I still do. But I'm not interested in obeying that directive because I'm an American.
I'm afraid of Americans. Yes, you're an American. And even if you voted for Donald Trump, you have every right to disagree with a decision Trump makes or a position he takes, or to question him on a change of position on something. Yeah. Again, nobody's saying you can't do that, but a lot of y'all are acting like children. Literally exposing your political immaturity. Not necessarily Matt, but a lot of the people who listen to him. Oh my God, burning Trump hats. I mean, who cares if you burn the hat? You paid for it already. Anyway.
Like, I'm an American. I can think for myself. And if you're a person in position of power, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to criticize you if you do something I don't like. I don't care what party you're in. But the other thing, too, is that the Epstein scandal, and this is what has to be, you have to understand, is that the Epstein scandal is not happening in a vacuum. Okay? We have not seen any high-profile or powerful people held accountable for their crimes.
I understand what you're saying. I get that part. But if the list has been compromised, destroyed, can't be released for whatever reason, how do you get to those high-profile people? Because just saying it is one thing, but proving it in a court of law is totally different, right? So why waste precious time and resources for perpetrators you can't even name? Just a thought. I like to bring in another perspective here. I get what's being said. I don't act like I don't understand what he's saying. I get what he's saying. But you also have to understand that there are other mitigating factors here.
No one's even been fired, let alone arrested, for allowing an assassin to almost kill Trump last year.
Again, that's something I don't agree with. I think, well, a lot of them have been allegedly heavily demoted. in their level of responsibility. So now you're basically like an agent for like somebody's dog or something, or some low level person. But you will never be next to a U.S. president ever again, probably, if you were part of that whole kerfuffle. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Trump was elected in 2016 partly on a promise to lock her up.
I never again. I never took the lock her up shit seriously. Also in 2016, for me, I didn't vote for Trump until the last minute. So I was never like in the lock her up. I was never that guy. I didn't really care. Hillary Clinton's crimes were literally read back to her. And she still walked. Not only did she walk, she kept her security clearance and was still able to successfully, even though she didn't make it over the finish line, but she successfully ran for president. Still got 4 million more votes than Donald Trump, popular vote. So Matt Walsh, yeah. Tell me how you plan to fight that. How you gonna lock her up, Matt Walsh?
We all recall that. So when do we start locking people up? Trump himself has spent 10 years calling out many different crimes and scandals, rightly so. Just this past weekend, he was talking again about the rigged election in 2020.
I don't care. Get these taxes right. Bring these jobs back to America. Get these illegals out of here. I don't give a fuck if Joe Blow up the street rigged the election. Who cares at this point?
Why hasn't anyone been arrested or charged for any of this? Why?
Because you forget, like Tulsi Gabbard said in the video I shared a couple episodes ago, you realize they're pushing hard, but they're pushing equally as hard back. So it's not going to be this seamless, perfect process. So this whole notion that you can just, he's president, he can make all these big decisions, he's still limited in his powers. And you know this, Matt Walsh, but you have to feed these people following you.
What about the people who lied about the COVID shot? What about the people who funded the BLM riots in 2020? What about the cabal of unelected bureaucrats who were using Joe Biden's auto pen to sign pardons and executive orders, effectively seizing control of the federal government? Now,
so all of that was supposed to happen in 6 months? That's like the extra stuff for me. I'm just speaking for myself. If your priority is to have Trump go in there and weaponize his power of the executive, sure, go ahead, do your thing. But that's not what I care about. Those are secondary things. Right. Because the time is very limited, which is why I have an issue with the 22nd Amendment, but that's another conversation for another day. And so when the time is limited, you have to be very particular with how you use that time. Because, I'm pretty sure all of these investigations, in fact, they are happening. The investigations are happening. This level of impatience and we want things in this microwave format, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Which is why when Trump lost the election, it took 3 years to start really digging into him through the justice system. So I this is a secondary issue for some people. That's all I'll say.
back to the point, Republicans are saying that this is a major scandal. I agree.
What Republicans are saying this is a major scandal?
is. So then who will be held responsible? Who will be punished? What person, what actual person with a face and a name are you going to arrest and put in prison for this scandal? Well, Republicans are investigating it. Great. I mean, they're constantly investigating things.
So you think investigations take 5 minutes? Up. Yeah, we found a cliff note. When you're going up against people this powerful, the burden of proof is on you, the one bringing the charges, right? So if you bring the charges, like in the Diddy case, for example, by every metric, the prosecutor did their job, right? But they couldn't quite get it over the finish line. So that's what you don't want. So it has to be worth it. You can't just recklessly go after people because you're mad at them that they did something or something happened. You have to be able to prove it. My feelings in the court of law are not the same.
The problem is that nobody is ever punished at the end of it. And I don't.
Most people are never punished on both sides of the aisle. Most powerful politicians are not punished on both sides of the aisle. It's rare you get a George Santos or that other Democrat person who it's rare. And Donald Trump can't undo all of that in this short period of time he's going to be in the executive.
I don't even think that's hyperbole. Like, nobody is ever punished at the end of any of these investigations. That's not how the Democrats operate. Democrats spent the last 4 years prosecuting Trump and throwing conservative activists and political advisors in prison. And
so we should. So are you saying, Mr. Walsh, that we should be just as reckless with our justice system? Is that what you're implying here? Because two wrongs don't make a right. So because they were reckless with the justice system, we should be equally as reckless. No, that's not responsible. That's not responsible at all.
And now, even after the majority of Americans have voted for transparency and justice, we're not getting it.
We're getting a lot of transparency, and we're getting some justice. The problem with y'all is y'all kick, scream, and cry if you don't get something within 5 seconds. That's what this microwave media age has done to many of our patience levels. And then we don't really see anything, right? We don't know the processes going on, right? We just know we're not getting what we want when we want it. That's like the annoying child who wants to scream and yell because they're not getting what they want when they want it. And in your mind, you want to put your fist through that child's head, but you know you can't because that's a crime.
And that's just not going to work. It's not what any Republican voted for in the last election.
That's what I voted. I didn't vote for people to be reckless with our DOJ. The investigations are happening. Now, the investigations happening this cycle are not the ones from 2016 or before. So there have been no investigations thus far in the last 6 months since Trump has been president again that have just quietly gone away. None.
Okay, we want to see accountability. We want to know that even the rich and powerful will pay for their crimes. And that hasn't happened yet.
The tears. And then all the people who follow him. Trump ain't do shit. Oh, God. I'm so bored. Well, Well, wait, is it this one? Yeah, it is this one. Now, Pam Bondi should have done this probably her first week as AG, but she didn't.
To the Fox News alert, this has been a bad few-week stretch for Jim Comey's daughter. She was just fired by the DOJ. She's known for a couple things. She just lost the Diddy case, of course, and she was Jeffrey Epstein's prosecutor. So the daughter of the former FBI director, James Comey, she's a veteran federal prosecutor, worked on these cases. Maureen Comey is fired. So this is sending tongues a-wagging as the internet personalities and others, and this show has asked questions about what happened with the files, why did we overpromise and underdeliver? But the president has made his opinion on this very clear over the last couple of days.
How do you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein?
Yeah. So that should have happened literally like week one. Homegirl should have been fired like out the gate. But, you know. And I think Pam Bondi herself should take a step back from playing it up to the media so much, because it's because of her that we're really in this predicament right now. Had she not run out there with and sent those influencers out with those damn binders, we wouldn't be in this situation. You know, had she not, oh, the files are on my desk, or there's something on my desk for me to review. If she had just shut up and allowed the process to organically unfold, we would not be in this predicament. Now, if there's one thing that I don't agree with in this process with Trump on, is keeping Pam Bondi. I don't agree with that. It's too social media-y, if that makes sense. It's like she's playing it up for the cameras and attention, and I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I'm just saying that's my experience of the situation. I could be totally wrong, but I'm just saying. At this point, zip it. Do your job. Don't be out here over-promising and under-delivering. It looks very bad on the administration. It looks very bad on you. It looks the worst on you. Because you kept dangling this shit in front of people's faces before you read anything, allegedly. Only to find out what's sitting on your desk is allegedly a bunch of chow corn that you... And if you want to see that you're the problem, because I don't want to see it. I'm good. When I used to watch porn, I liked it 18 and over. Thank you. No, none of that other stuff. I'm good. That ain't my thing. You know, assalamu alaikum. But yeah, even with that said, this whole, what happened? Why did it freeze? This whole Epstein kerfuffle, even in that, Donald Trump's poll numbers, or his approval rating and all of that, he's not doing bad. He's not doing too bad.
Look, I think this one surprised me a bit because of all these complaints online going after Trump and the Epstein files. You might think his approval ratings were going down, Republicans. If anything, they're going up. Republicans who approve of Trump, look at our CNN poll. The prior one, 86%. The one out this week, 88% were Republicans. How about Quinnipiac? The prior poll, 87% approve of Republicans. This week out, 90% were Republicans. If anything, Donald Trump's approval rating has gone up since this whole Epstein saga started. He is at the apex, or close there too, in terms of his popularity with Republican voters, Epstein files, complaints, or not.
You just proved that not everything online is real
Yes,
in
hey,
real life.
Who knew?
Amazing.
Twitter and X are not reality.
Is there any reason that you can
Amen.
find that this hasn't taken hold and hurt him?
Yeah. I mean, on X, all you hear about is the Epstein files. But how about out in the real public? Republicans who said the top issue was Epstein case. The answer is one, and not 1%. One respondent. This is a great little finding that Ariel Edwards-Levy, who of course is part of our polling unit, found. Just one single Republican said that the nation's top problem is in fact the Epstein case. Not much of a surprise that therefore Donald Trump's approval rating has not suffered with Republicans because of the Epstein case. Because the bottom line is most Americans say it's not high up on their priority list.
Oh, okay. So I'm not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs here. I'm in the majority. Because it's easy to get caught in these bubbles in social media where you think the whole world is thinking like this. Oh my gosh, the whole world is thinking like this. And then you go out and touch grass and you realize most people don't care. Releasing or not releasing the Epstein files is not going to put more money in my pocket. I don't care. Now, is there, I would like justice for these victims? Sure, of course. But I also know that we have less than 4 years to get a lot done. So you have to prioritize when you have that limited amount of time, because there's going to be no third Trump term. That's not going to happen unless repealing the 22nd Amendment is on the agenda, which I don't think it is. Nor do I even think that could happen. Yeah, because I don't even think we would have enough states to make that happen. But to my knowledge, it's not an agenda item for the Trump 2.0 administration. And so we have a very limited amount of time to get things done. The priority list has to be the priority list. The long-term plan has to be the long-term plan, because we have to get another Republican in there in 2028, whether it's J.D. Vance or Byron Donalds or Ron DeSantis. It has to be another Republican, because if these Democrats get in there in 2028, they're going to literally undo everything. No matter if their constituents benefited from it or not, the fact that Trump did it, they have to undo it. And you need to give these policies time to really enter the ether, the consciousness, the wallets of the American people. Because once they're seeing that they're benefiting financially, they're benefiting from jobs that are for Americans, by Americans, they have to see that in real time, and so it could take another presidential cycle for people to really start to see that. That's why we need another Republican in there in 2028. Bigger picture, people. The Epstein list is not part of the bigger picture. It's called political maturity. Not being on a we hate Democrats were bad. They abused the justice system, so now we're gonna do it too. No. If we're coming after you, it's because we have hardcore facts, evidence, and we can literally prove it in a court of law. Not because we felt something or we don't like you or you're politically you're different, so therefore we're gonna go. We're not pulling the same punches that they pull. That's where the integrity piece comes in. That's where the maturity piece comes in. So grow the hell up. Can this really be the last time I talk about this? Can it be, like, for real? This be the last Jeffrey Epstein conversation I have, at least in this regard, for a long time. Please. Because I ain't got it. I ain't got it, y'all. Jesus. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. today. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Like. If you want to support the channel, we're not monetized here yet. So if you want to support the channel, you can go to AJsRANTroom.com and buy some merch. And I mean, yes, thank you, Brian. Like, yes, it's my show, but I'm trying to like talk about other stuff. And you know, one more thing before I go. TikTok has become a cesspool of annoying monkeys. I am so annoyed with people with 5 followers being able to go live, be anonymous, say the most ridiculous things, and get away with it. I like the TikTok policy where you had to have 1,000 followers to go live. And then I like the policy when they upgraded it that after you get live privileges, you then have to earn some other milestones to be able to have guests and to be able to monetize. That's a good policy because when you don't earn it, like welfare, when you don't earn it, you don't value it. So I spent 5 years building a platform only to have it censored, suppressed, shadow banned, can barely get people in my live stream, can barely get people to watch my content. And then you have some snot-nosed motherfucker with no following able to live stream with me. No, that should never be able to happen. That should never be able to happen. See, when you let everybody in, then you just you dilute the credibility of it. It cheapens it, which is why I'm grateful that platforms like YouTube, you can't just go, you can't just monetize after 2 weeks unless you're really brilliant and create some amazing content that just goes viral out the gate, which is God bless you if that does. But TikTok, we got to get back to earning it because I'm absolutely 100% bored of this whole process. Anyway, I will try to go live later on TikTok at 4 o'clock. I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, you got to be worthy of it. Period. You got to earn it. When you don't earn it, you don't value it, then you disrespect the people who did. So anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much. Once again, like, share, comment, subscribe, merch store, AJsRANTroom.com, and I will catch y'all mañana. Peace out.